Good to see you all. We're going to get started with some yoga. Go ahead and sit comfortably wherever you're at. You can sit cross-legged like I am doing. You can extend your legs forward if you'd like to. Heck, you could even lay down if you really wanted to. We're just going to go inward for just a few moments. If you are seated, relax your shoulders down your back. Feel the crown of the head lift. And bring your awareness to your breath. Sensation of the breath in the nostrils. The sensation at the back of your throat. And the feeling of the lungs filling and emptying, and how your body moves with that expansion and contraction. Maybe you feel your rib cage move. Maybe it's the belly, both, neither. Aware of the breath here. And see if you can just deepen this breath a bit more, both in capacity, taking deeper breaths, but also slowing down the breath a bit, taking it out of any frenetic uh, states of being. So no sharp inhales or exhales, no shallow breathing. Let's breathe deeply and intentionally for just a few rounds, helping to bring our minds to the present moment, helping to bring our minds into our bodies, turning off whatever happened up until this moment, and staying away from anything that might happen after this. Let's just be here. This breath, deep inhale, deep exhale. One more big breath, please. And then go ahead and bring your palms to your heart and lower the chin and just honor yourself, this body, this breath, your energetic state, your state of mind, just as you are in this moment. And it's from that place within you, with that awareness, that we'll practice today. So go ahead and rub the palms together, creating some heat between them, and take the heated palms over your eyes, carefully brushing over the top of your head and down your neck, bringing yourself back to your space. Beautiful. All right, we're going to begin on our backs tonight. So if you're sitting on any props, go ahead and move them off to the side, and we'll come to lay down. Good. Take your time getting there. But once you're on your back, go ahead and just hug your knees into your chest. Nice calming and grounding pose. And as the knees are drawing inward towards your belly and chest, the thighs pressing into your belly, feel the movement of your breath in your body, especially the back body. The back ribs, the lower back, the shoulder blades. Because when you breathe, you feel them pressing into the floor, expanding. And all of that relaxing and releasing away as you exhale. Good. One more conscious breath here. All right. So please keep your right knee drawn into your chest and extend your left leg all the way down to the floor and flex that leg, that foot. So pull the toes back, toes pointing towards the ceiling. Good. And just feel a gentle stretch in your hip here. Good. And then hold behind the right thigh with both hands. With your next inhale, extend your right leg toward the ceiling, pull the toes back, the arms straighten, and then exhale, bend the knee, bring it back into your chest. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale, extend the right leg toward the sky, pull the toes back, and then exhale, knee to chest. Let's keep doing that a few more times. Inhale, extend, And exhale, bend. Beginning to lengthen this right leg, feeling space or stretching in the right hamstring. That's the back of the leg. The hamstrings get pretty tight sometimes. Good. One more time, all right? Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. And then take the leg back into the air. You can keep holding behind the thigh if you want to, and pull the toes back towards you as much as you can. The right toes pulling toward you. And then point the right toes away from you. Then pull them toward you, and then point them away. Bring them towards you, and point. Flex the foot, point the foot. Flex the foot, point the foot. One more time. Flex and point. Now, from the pointing position, begin to roll the foot around on the ankle joint. So you're passing through the full pointing and full flexion as you rotate the ankle joint in one direction. And I want you to go slowly here. A lot of people, when they get started with this, start to go really fast. Slow the movement down. It's harder, but it's more intentional. And I want you to breathe deeply here because this can be quite irritating. But these ankles, they work so hard for us. They hold us up. They let us walk around and do all that stuff. Just bring some relief to this joint. Let's circle in the opposite direction, all right? And again, slow it down. Take your time with it. And of course, please breathe. This is one of the ones that might not feel that great when you're doing it. It might, but it might not. But it'll feel great once you come out of it. So let's rotate a couple more times, okay? Good. All right. Then bring your right knee into your chest and extend the leg on down to the floor. And there's that relief in that right ankle. All right, we're going to practice that same series on the other side. So bring your left knee into your chest right now and just stay here for a couple of breaths, feeling that gentle stretch in the hip. All right. And then hold behind the left thigh with both hands. Good. And inhale, extend the left leg toward the ceiling, pull the toes back. And then exhale, bend the knee, bring the knee back into your chest. Keep going a few more times. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it on in. Creating length in this left leg, the hamstring. Warming up the body here. Let's do two more. Good, then extend the left leg toward the ceiling. Leave it extended. You can keep holding behind the thigh, and then point the toes away from you as much as you can, and then pull the toes toward you as much as you can. Point and flex. Point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. All right, go ahead and point the toes away from you and then begin to circle the ankle in one direction and slow it down and take your time. Deep breaths, no rush. Again, as you work out whatever needs to be worked out in this ankle joint, you might start to notice some agitation, irritation, discomfort, things of that flavor. Take deep breaths. That's just tension unwinding. You don't have to identify with it. Okay, we've been moving in one direction. Go ahead and move in the opposite direction. Breathe. Two more rotations. All right, then bring the left knee in And then relax the left leg all the way down to the floor. Notice sensation here, all right? I feel like circulation returning, like warmth or tingling. Just shows how much tension was actually trapped in that joint. Such good work to do. All right, let's return to the first side and do a bit more work on the right leg. So bring your right knee back into your chest. Hug it in for a moment. Let it know that we're coming for it. Good. And then hold behind the right thigh with your right hand. Right thigh, right hand. Your left hand is going to rest on top of your left hip. Left hand, left hip. You're not pushing down at all. You're just reminding this hip to stay on the floor. Okay? So keeping the left hip on the ground, go ahead and bring the right knee out to the right. Take it out to the side. And then inhale, extend the leg, reaching through the heel. And then exhale, just bend the knee, but keep the knee out to the side. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. We'll do a few more. But again, focus on that left hip. Keep it on the ground here. We're engaging the core on the left side of the body, left waist. Try not to clench your jaw here. And then as you extend the right leg this time out to the side, leave it extended. Feel the core engaged to keep the left hip on the ground. Soften your jaw and breathe. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee. Bring it back to center and then extend it down to the floor. Side number 2, bring the left knee into your chest. Again, one breath here, just letting this leg know we're coming for it. And then we'll set up for exercise. So hold behind the left thigh with the left hand. Right hand rests on top of your right hip. Again, not pushing, just reminding that hip to stay on the ground. And then draw the left leg or left knee out to the left. And then keep it out to the side as you inhale, extend the leg. And exhale, bend the knee, keeping the knee out to the side. Keep going. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Focus on that right hip this time, keeping it cemented to the floor as much as possible. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Let's do a couple more. And as you extend the leg this time, leave it extended. Really root that right hip down. Strong engagement of the core on the right side, the right waist. Breathe. Soften your jaw. One more breath. And then go ahead and bring the knee or bring the leg in and then bring the knee in and then extend the leg down. Feel sensation for a moment. What's happening in the hips, what's happening in the leg, the core. And then we'll continue our warm up. Bring your feet flat to the floor, heels underneath your knees. And your feet are about hip distance apart. All right. We're going to practice some bridge pose. So with your next inhale, please lift your arms all the way overhead, knuckles touching the floor above you. And then exhale, release your arms back down to your side. So we'll move the arms in the same fashion. We'll add the hips this time. Lift the arms all the way overhead, and then also pick up the hips, reach your pelvis toward the ceiling. Knuckles on the floor above you. Exhale, release your arms and hips together at the same time, coming back down. Inhale, lift up. Arms and hips. Exhale, arms and hips back down. Just keep going, warming up the spine here, warming up the shoulders, the glutes, the tops of the thighs, creating extension in the front of the body. Let's do a few more rounds, all right? Inhale, lifting up, exhale, releasing down, moving with your breath and with control. And with control means make it a smooth movement. Allow there to be a finesse to it. Now take your time getting there, but the next time you lift into bridge pose, let's stay. Arms overhead, hips pressing toward the ceiling, and breathe as you hold the pose. Keep the pelvis pressing toward the sky. And if you notice any constriction in your throat, just relax the throat. Good. One more breath. Press up to your highest point. Inhale. And then exhale, release the hips and arms at the same time, coming back down. Good. All right, so from bridge pose, walk your feet away from your body about 6 inches, just a little bit further forward than we just had them. And then take the feet as wide apart as your yoga mat, so a bit wider than your shoulders. Your arms can rest out to the side here. And then with an inhale, allow your knees to fall to the left, rocking up onto the hip. With your exhale, ground your lower back to the floor and bring the knees back to center. Then inhale, take the knees to the right. Then exhale again, ground the lower back, feel your core engaged to make that happen. The knees come back to center. And then inhale, knees to the left. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale back to center. And then just keep going on your own, inhaling to a side, exhaling to center. And as you get a rhythm down, you can get the head involved. Just turn the chin away from the knees. So if the knees fall to the right, the chin falls to the left. Inhaling to a side. Strong exhale, bringing you back to center. Keep going. This is helping to stretch the muscles, not just in the hip, but the sides of the body. There's this big wraparound muscle on both sides. And the psoas kind of wraps from the lower back around the waist and down into the groin, and it gets really tight sometimes. This helps to relieve that tension. Helps to relieve hip pain, helps to relieve back pain. Let's do a couple more times. All right. So the next time your knees come back to center, go ahead and hug them into your chest again. Feel sensation for a moment, maybe even noticing if there's a bit more access to even just this posture from the work we've done. This was the first posture we came into. We've done it after, we're doing it now again after a few exercises. All right. From here, go ahead and roll to your right side and we'll come up to hands and knees. Table pose. Take your time getting there. All right. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, child's pose, seat to the heels, forehead to the floor. Then inhale back up to hands and knees again. Exhale again, child's pose. Inhale back up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale back up. One more time, all right? Exhale back. And then inhale back up to hands and knees. Bend your elbows in towards your waist. Do a chest press, bringing your chest down between your thumbs, and then release the hips as you come onto your abdomen. And so here, your hands are underneath your shoulders. The elbows are bent, and the elbows are squeezing into your side, not out to the side. So squeeze them in. Good. With your next inhale, please roll the shoulders down the back, peel the head and heart away from the floor, coming into cobra pose. Exhale, release down gently. Let's do that again. Cobra inhale, lifting the heart, lifting the head. Exhale, release down. Again, inhale. Exhale down. We're going to do about 3 more on your breath. Good, then come into Cobra pose. Let's stay for 3 breaths. Shoulders down the back, the heart and head are looking forward. Breathing. Deep breath in. And release. Take an adjusting breath here. Good. Then go ahead and lift your chest again. And this time, bring your elbows about underneath your shoulders, maybe just a little bit further forward. This is called Sphinx pose because we look like the Sphinx here. All right, so we're going to allow Sphinx pose to be kind of our setup for this next exercise where we stretch the thighs, or the tops of the thighs, that is. So go ahead and cross your right arm in front of you so it helps to keep the chest lifted, and that frees up the left arm a bit. So bend your left knee, bring that heel in towards your seat, and reach back and just grab something. Ideally, the base of the toes, but it might be the ankle for you. Just make a connection as best you can. Now, once you make that connection, what happens naturally is that the left hip bone pops up off the floor. So with an exhale, roll the left hip back down, and then draw the heel, the left heel, in toward your left hip. And you'll start to feel a stretch in the front of the left thigh. Let's breathe with that. Soften your jaw. Just like the ankles earlier, this one can cause a little bit of agitation in the system. Just know that that's just tension releasing. You don't have to follow that agitated thought. You don't have to go down that road. And stay for 2 more breaths, okay? Now, when we come out of this pose, you don't want to release it quickly because you don't want to slingshot the foot to the floor. Instead, gently release that foot, allowing it to slowly come down to the ground. Now, I always like to stop in the middle and just feel sensation for a moment, the difference in the stretch of the top of the left thigh versus the right. And whether you liked that or not, it probably feels important to do the other side. Okay, so go ahead and bend your right knee, bring that heel in, cross your left arm in front of you to keep your chest lifted, and then reach back behind you and again, grab something. The base of the toes is ideal, but it could be the ankle, it could just be the tops of the toes, just whatever you can grab. Now, your right hip bone pops up off the floor, so roll that back down to the ground, and then draw your right heel in towards your right hip. Try to keep the chest lifted here and take steady breaths. When those waves of discomfort or agitation come up, just notice them. Breathe calmly anyway. Stay for just a few more breaths, all right? You're almost there. Now again, don't slingshot the foot to the floor. Slowly release it. Carefully release it. And feel sensation for a moment. You can cross your right arm in front again if you'd like to. All right. So from this pose, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, curl the toes under, And press the floor forward. So push it forward to help you push up to hands and knees. And then lift the hips into the air, coming into downward facing dog. You may need to walk your feet forward a few inches. But downward facing dog, the knees are softly bent, lifting the hips toward the ceiling, feeling extension in the spine. Let's take some deep breaths here. You might want to walk the dog out a bit as well, pressing one heel to the floor and bending the opposite knee, so kind of pedaling the feet. All right, so from here, go ahead and walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into the standing forward fold. Press palms to shins, come halfway up, meeting chest parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold back down. Knees are slightly bent here. Let's do that again. Palms to shins, looking at the floor. Exhale, folding down. Third time's a charm here. Press halfway up. And exhale, fold down. Bend your knees a bit more now. And then roll yourself single vertebrae at a time all the way up to standing. Chin is the last to lift. Shoulders relaxing down your back. Good. All right, bringing yourself on back. Good morning. Feel free to hydrate if you need to. It's never a bad time to be reminded to hydrate, except before bed, I guess. We do our best. We do our best. So we're going to be moving through a chair sequence next. Some of you have done this with me before, but I'll lead you through it as we go through it. So have your feet stacking underneath your hips and bring your palms together at your heart. All right, there's a few movements to this one. Inhale, sweep your arms down, back, and up. With your exhale, you're going to bend both knees, drop your body down, sweep your arms behind you. Keep the knees bent as you lift the arms forward and look up. Chair pose. We're going to stay for the exhalation. Then inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, and then hinge at the hips. Take the arms out to the side and swan dive, fold forward and down. Press palms to shins, come halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up, strong back, palms together overhead, and then sweep the arms down and palms to heart. So that's one round. We'll do about 4 more. Inhale, sweep the arms down and up. Exhale, bend the knees, chair prep, sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, come up into chair pose, and let's stay for the exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach, and then exhale, fold forward. Palms to shins, halfway up, and exhale down. Sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up, and palms to the heart. Again, inhale, sweep up. Bend the knees, chair prep, chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Lift on inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Palms to shins, and fold. Sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up. Palms to heart. I think we have 2 more left. Let's keep going. Inhale, sweep up. Bend the knees, chair prep, chair pose. Good, lift. Fold. Halfway. And down. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. Palms to heart. Last one. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Chair prep. Chair pose. And back up. Fold forward. Halfway rise. And down. All the way up. And palms to the heart. Good. Feel sensation as we come back to stillness. You can relax the arms down if you'd like. I love that one because it builds energy in our bodies, helps to wake us up a bit. Spine, Strengthen the back, mobility for the shoulders. Good. Taking a deeper breath. And before we go into our sun salutation tonight, I'd like us to do a bit of balancing. All right. So stack your feet underneath your hips. And then just kind of feel the weight of the body resting in the feet. It's our grounding that happens. And then just move that weight or shift it over into your left foot. Okay, so kind of just like lean over, but you're not just gonna fall over. You're gonna have your core engaged when that happens. So when you start to lean far enough, you start to feel like this inner lift that kind of catches you. Engage that a bit deeper, a bit more intentionally, and then pick up your right knee as far as you can. It might just be a couple inches off the floor, might be all the way up towards your chest, but whatever works best for you. Your arms can relax down. Now focus your eyes to a single non-moving point. When the eyes are focused, the mind can be focused, ideally. Breathe. All right, now place the right foot back down. Bring the weight back to center. Let's see what that feels like on the second side. So shift into your right foot. Again, when you start to lean over far enough, there's this inner lift that happens that kind of catches you. It's down deep down in your core and your pelvis. Engage that a bit deeper, strengthen that a bit more, and allow your left knee to come up. Again, as far as it goes. It can only be a few inches, it can be all the way up. Your arms can relax. Focus the eyes and, of course, breathe. Because if you don't breathe when you balance, you pass out and you fall. So we breathe when we balance. Little humor for you. And focus the eyes. If you look around like I was doing, you'll fall. Good. Now place the left foot down, come back to center. Let's practice one more time on each side, all right? Because we're just getting into it. Go ahead and shift into that left foot. Again, feel the core engage and allow that right knee to float on up. Breathe. You'll also notice as we do these opposite sides that one side's easier, one side's harder. It's all good. Good. Place the right foot down, come back to center, sway over into that right foot, engage that core, and lift. And breathe. Deep breath in. And exhale, place the left foot down. All right, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and start our sun salutation. So step to the top of your mat, whichever direction that is for you. You might be there already. And again, feet stacking underneath the hips. It's kind of our standard start. Palms to your heart. And we're going to use that chair sequence we did earlier as our introduction to our sun salutation. So you know some of it already. Palms to heart, find your breath. Aware of the inhale and exhale, and we'll do our best to move with the breath. So with your next inhale, please sweep your arms down, back, and up. Exhale, chair prep, chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Lift on inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Palms to shins, halfway up. Then exhale, fold down. Step your right foot way back and release the back knee to the floor. Release the foot. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, coming into your crescent lunge. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the floor and step back into downward facing dog. From down dog, float down onto hands and knees, and then bring the heart down between the thumbs again. Release the hips. Hands are still under the shoulders. We'll come back into cobra pose to lift the head and chest off the floor. And then exhale, float down. Curl the toes under. Go ahead and push up to hands and knees and back into downward facing dog. Good. In down dog, lift the right leg high. And step the right foot between the hands, exhale. Now, you might not be able to do that on one sweep. You just get as far forward as you can, and then help it the rest of the way. Back knee on the ground. We'll do the crescent lunge on this side, sweep the arms up and back. And then exhale, hands to the floor, step forward. Standing forward fold. Palms to shins, halfway up. And exhale down. Sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up, inhale. And palms to the heart. Beautiful, let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms down, back and up. Exhale, chair prep, bend the knees, sweep the arms. Inhale, chair pose. Good, lift on inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Palms to shins, halfway up, inhale. Then exhale, release, step the left foot back this time. Back knee to the floor. Let's do the crescent lunge, lift the arms up and back. And then exhale, hands down, and carefully step back to downward dog. Good, floating gently onto hands and knees. Bring the heart down to the floor, release the hips. There's another cobra pose here. Lift your head and chest, inhale. Exhale, floating down. Curl the toes under, push up to hands and knees, and back to downward facing dog. Good, this time the left foot lifts. With your exhale, step that foot forward, help it along, and release the back knee to the ground. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, step forward, standing forward fold. Palms to shins, halfway up here, extending the spine forward, then exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up, inhale. And palms to the heart. We're going to keep this energy moving. Inhale, sweep up. Chair prep. Chair pose. Good, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, fold down, step the right foot back this time. Knee to the floor, crescent lunge, come on up. Downward facing dog, hands down, stepping back. Good, inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, chest press. Release the hips. Cobra, lift, head and chest. Exhale, float down, curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts this time and step it all the way forward. Help it through. Back knee to the ground, crescent lunge when you get there. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. Palms to heart. Inhale, sweep. Chair prep. Chair pose. Lift. Fold. Halfway up. Left foot steps. Good, coming on up. Crescent lunge. And then exhale, downward facing dog, stepping back, keeping it moving. Inhale, hands and knees. Chest down. Cobra, inhale. And release, curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts and step the left foot forward, help it through. Back knee to the ground, inhale, crescent lunge. And then hands down, step forward. Palms to shins. And fold. Inhale, arms up to the side, come all the way up. And palms to the heart. Good, let's do another one. Inhale up. Chair prep. Chair pose. Lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway up. And again, the right leg steps back. Knee on the ground, crescent lunge. Come on up. Hands down, downward facing dog. Hands and knees, inhale, floating gently down, then bring the heart to the ground. All right, lifting up cobra, head and chest, inhale. Exhale, float down, curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog, right leg, when you're ready, lifts and step it through, knee to the ground, crescent lunge. And then hands down, step forward, palms to shins. Exhale, release. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. And palms to your heart. Feel sensation, your heart beating, your lungs pulsing beneath the heart. The feeling in your body, your muscles. How your mind feels about how you're feeling in your body. Compassion for that. All right. Bringing your awareness back. Good job. All right, we're going to practice a pose called Goddess pose next. So go ahead and stand wide on your yoga mat, feet nice and wide apart. And you're going to take your toes out to the side, pointing out about 45 degrees. Sometimes we have the toes pointing directly forward. This time they're out to the side a bit. Good. So hands on your hips to start. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, bend both knees out over the toes. Like that's the direction they're heading. So sink down in. At this point, you'll notice if your stance is too wide or too short. So just adjust as needed. Then inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink back in. Squatting down. Inhale, back up. Try to keep the chest lifted as you sink. Then inhale back up. We'll do a couple more. Inhale up. And let's sink on in now. And stay. And breathe. I want you to get curious about your right heel. That one down there. What happens if you pick up that right heel? The toes are still on the ground. You're not levitating here. Not yet. Good. There's this deep support that comes up through the leg all the way up into the groin and core. Go ahead and release the right heel down. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, sink back in. Let's get curious about that left heel now. Go ahead and pick it up. See what happens. Again, you'll notice that support coming in up through the leg into the groin and core. Go ahead and put it down and lift. Coming back up. Good. Take an adjusting breath. Good. So bring your arms out to the side and bend the elbows coming into cactus arms. This is the traditional arm posture for goddess pose. So shoulder blades are working together. The heart is lifting. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, sink back down. Heart is lifting. And you're breathing. Now you can stay right here if you want to. You're getting a great exercise in. But you might get curious, what happens if I pick up both heels? What happens there? Can you do it? Can you give it a try? Rarely in yoga does something feel or actually is easier than it looks. Usually it's harder. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it's just easier than it looks. So if you can, keep the heels lifted. If not, put them back on the ground. You're still doing fine. Good. Breathe. Good. Go ahead and release the heels down if they're lifted. And then straighten the legs. Reach the arms up. And then release the arms down. Now turn the feet parallel, toes pointing directly forward or pigeon toeing a little bit. Sweep the arms up again. And then exhale, fold forward over wide legs. Good. Feeling sensation here for a moment. It's okay for the knees to be bent a little bit. Good, staying for another breath or so. Good. And then sweep the arms out to the side, a strong back coming all the way up, and bring your palms down. Good. So whatever side of the mat is your front side, the one you like to start on, go ahead and turn your toes that way and step to the top of your mat. From there, fold forward into the standing forward fold. From there, gently walk back to downward facing dog. And then float down onto hands and knees. Release the feet. Let's come into child's pose. Seat to the heels, forehead to the floor. Deep breaths here. All right. So from child's pose, take your time, but just slither forward down onto your belly, coming all the way down onto the abdomen. Good. So just like for cobra pose, you're going to have your hands directly underneath your shoulders, elbows bent, and sort of squeezing in towards your side. Definitely moving more inward than outward. Good. We're going to play around with locust pose next. So feel your pelvis grounding into the floor. It's going to be your base point. With your next inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, lift the heart, head, and the thighs up off the ground. The legs lift. Locust pose. Breathe. Deep breath in and exhale, float down. Take an adjusting breath before we come back into it. And then again, coming back into it, ground the pelvis. Inhale, feel the head, chest, and legs float up off the ground. Get light on the hands. The hands can still be on the floor, but use the back, use the lower back muscles to pull you up. Same with the inner thighs. Inner thighs are lifting strong behind you. You're breathing. Squeeze up. Chest lifts, thighs lift. 3, 2. Lift to your highest point, inhale. And exhale, float gently on down. If you want to, you can turn the head to a side. Then turning the head to the other side. And then bring the head back to center. Now it's kind of far from where you probably want to be right now, but we're going to come back into down dog. So curl the toes under, push up to hands and knees. Take your time. In downward facing dog, again, you might have to walk your feet forward a couple of inches. Knees are soft, slightly bent. And you're lifting the hips powerfully toward the sky. This is creating length in your spine, which is great to do after deep belly back bending, like locust pose or cobra. Good. One more breath here. And inhale, float down. Good. All right, so from here, we are going to transition onto our backs for the last couple of exercises. So go ahead and flip on over. Yeah, a couple more exercises. Take your time and hug your knees into your chest again when you get there. Such a nice grounding posture. I love this one. All right. Once you're here, keep the knees drawn into your chest and take your arms out to the side, making a T shape with your body. Now, if there's like furniture nearby and you can't take the arms out like that, just do cactus arms. All right. All right. So either one of those. Good. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, allow your knees to fall to your right side. With your inhale, engage your core. Bring the knees back to center. Exhale, take the knees to the left side. Inhale, engage the core, come back to center. Exhale, right. Inhale, back. Exhale, left. Inhale, back. Let's do a couple more times from side to side. Exhaling to a side, inhaling to center. Now take your time getting there. The next time the knees go to the right, just take them there and leave them there. Allow them to relax down. You can even take your right hand on top of the left thigh, just encouraging that twist. And feel your left shoulder ground back behind you. You could even turn your chin to the left if you'd like. And of course, we're breathing here, intentionally breathing. Good. And let's switch sides. So go ahead and bring the knees back to center. Take your time, then take them to the other side. Relax them down. This time your left hand can rest on top of the right thigh if you want to, and feel your right shoulder or elbow anchor back behind you. If you want to, the chin can turn to the right. Let's just breathe into this twist. One more breath here. And then with your next inhale, bring the knees back to center. And one last time for our practice tonight, hug them in, squeeze them in. And if I bring the knees into the chest, you feel your lower back or your hips pop up off the floor, try to ground those back down. You'll feel a bit of resistance between the hands and the knees. And that's fine. It's helping to just relieve any residual tension in the lower back. Deep breaths here, please. All right. So up out to the side, your arms resting to the side, your jaw and eyes relaxed, and close the eyes, coming into our final resting posture here. And this is our resting posture. You don't have to do anything anymore. You can relax deeply, feel those grounding points that your body makes at the floor, and just maybe feel yourself melt or soften into those points a bit more. The long day is over. And as you relax here, to just help give the mind something to do. Just notice your breath, however you feel your breath. Maybe it's the sensation in the nostrils, maybe the throat, that gentle expansion and contraction of your body. Just you and your breath hanging out here. Peace, peace, peace. Please go ahead and take a deeper breath and bring some movement to your hands and feet, arms and legs. Making some gentle movements. When you're ready, roll to your right side. Coming up to a seat when you feel complete here. So once you're in a seat, go ahead and bring your palms to your heart and lower your chin. And just honor yourself for the work you've done here this evening. All the effort that you've put forth. Just have some gratitude from you, to you, for all of that. And may all of that effort and this practice continue to serve you. So until next time, namaste.